Hello, leaders. Welcome to Digital Mandate, a podcast series brought to you by Tech Disruptor Media, a brand of BNG. This is a special series by FinVision AI Summit. And today we have Mr. Navin Raju Roselin from CredAble. He is a CISO at CredAble. Thank you, Navin, for joining us.
But me, shit.
Okay. So, if we talk about culture and cultural innovations, so how do you foster a cultural innovation among IT teams while still meeting the guidelines, regulatory demands?
See, yeah. So I'm coming from CredAble. CredAble is primarily a fintech offering supply chain finance
Yeah.
platform, and also an NBFC, primarily acting as a lender in the supply chain finance ecosystem, right? So, being a fintech, right, we have different teams, primarily technical teams who cater to building these platforms, right? Coming from different backgrounds, different technical backgrounds, working closely with business teams. Since we also have an NBFC primarily, right, coming from the banking BFSI kind of segment, the amalgamation of technical team into, let's say, banking sector team, right, is where a kind of cultural amalgamation needs to happen, right? Because those are actually from two different spectrums, right? How we actually build is a single culture across the organization. The people experience, human resource management team cater to building a single culture irrespective of, okay, which domain, which sector you're coming. But as an organization, you should always have a single culture, right?
Yeah.
So they primarily have policies around it. So when somebody is onboarded, they will ensure that, okay, people understand the policies, what exactly the culture, the vision, mission, right?
Right.
And then as leaders, what we do primarily do is we will have frequent contacts, connects with the people, try to actually embed the cultural values of the organization into different teams. And then ultimately, when it's a fintech, you are mostly into technology, right? You will be building platforms, right? Having these daily huddles, feedback loops on a frequent basis, right? Helps people to actually understand what exactly you are doing, which kind of organization you're working with, how you need to be collaborative with others, how you follow agile methodologies, right? Unless you actually get into all these, building a culture, working together, and creating result out of it would be difficult.
Yeah. So building a culture also needs a right talent acquisitions. So what challenges do you face while we talk about workforce management and their acquisitions in the evolving digital landscapes?
Yeah. So primary challenge right today is talent retention, right?
Right.
And with advancement of technology, primarily AI coming into picture, right?
Right.
AI is being vastly adapted, right? Whether there is a use case to actually go for or not, right? There is a frequent pressure that, okay, there is a new technology everybody is actually talking about, is there is a huge hype, right? Somehow leadership is forced to basically adopt some kind of AI into their organization, right? Now, finding the right talent is a challenge, one. Even if you find right challenge, right? Retaining people, right? Because technology is evolving, primarily, and then there are different options available for the people, right? With COVID coming in, work from home became an opportunity that almost everybody tested, right? Then now people tend to actually offer that, especially when you're into banking, NBFC kind of organization. Usually you prefer to be working from office, right? Now people who prefer to work from home, right, generally tend to think that, okay, this may not be the right opportunity for
Right.
me, and they may look out for opportunities outside. One. Second, there is always competition, right? People with talent, for them it's very easy to find opportunities outside, right? So the top talent may move out, you need to work with average, right? That's where creating clear vision, motivating people, then enabling people to work towards the larger goal, right? Leaders can do all these things so that irrespective of the quality and quantity of people, right, team could work together,
Right.
and you would be able to an extent, successful in actually retaining people.
Yeah. So as you mentioned about like work from home and work from office scenario during COVID, so do you find it very challenging, or would you suggest as per security when it comes to security concerns? So what challenges do you think is you have faced earlier, and now how technologies helped you to maintain that thing?
So until the COVID phase, right, we all thought that, okay, working from office is the ideal one because we always had this perimeter-based security. I'm talking from a security perspective, right? We always thought that coming to office, you have a firewall, other security services enabled, so it would be more secure, right? But with COVID coming in, and then there are no other option available, right? People are to move to their home, work from there. All of a sudden, you started adopting these technologies, right? A lot of endpoint system securities, like you onboard a endpoint detection service on your laptop. You get rid of your firewall, right? You will have firewall capabilities on your laptop itself. Then you onboard, let's say, collaboration tools like, okay, video, audio conferencing tools, then data leakage prevention systems. So a lot of technology, security, and productivity-oriented technology tools have been onboarded by a lot of organizations, right? That way, working from office or working from home, there is not much difference, right? People can still work from home the way they were working from office, still yielding the same productivity and security, right? It's only that, okay, security team needs to be a little bit more alert. They need to have the right tools. They need to have the right operational infrastructure in place so that activities by individuals can be monitored especially when you are in from bank, NBFCs, fintech and all, right? Security, compliance, regulatory aspects comes into picture. For me, at least from my experience, working from home or working from office doesn't matter much because of the technological advancement and its adoption across the organizations. But then one thing I experience in my corporate life is primarily FaceTime makes sense, right? One of the reason people tend to move out from organization is the lack of connection, right? Earlier, always sitting in the same office, having that FaceTime, talking to each other, building a kind of relationship, right? With people working from home, the connection, there is a larger gap in the connection. FaceTime is primarily reduced. So then people think that, okay, it's a job. For me, it's a job, right? There is no personal connection. That individual stick aspect is not there, right? So that also results in some kind of attrition because it's very easy for individuals to take a decision to move out and immediately move out, right? They always say people leave an organization because of the managers, the person they work very closely with, right? For me, as long as an organization is able to build that FaceTime, get people connected with each other, then working from home or working from office doesn't matter.
That's a great answer, and it's like flexibility is always needed.
Yeah.
Because you can't hold people to just follow. If you keep bothering them, come to office, do this and that, they will eventually they will get bored and they will just leave. So maintaining this flexibility is the right thing. So my last, we will wrap up with which technology you find it's the most underrated. As the once while it was introduced in the industry, it got a hype, but it didn't got much attention as much the possibility or capabilities it has.
Yeah. So for me, so almost all the technology, right, brings in some value. The breadth of that value varies, right? I still remember when cloud technology came, right, almost 10, 15 years back, right? There was a notion that, okay, cloud, okay, all your data would be with someone else, right? Whether it is secure to actually move your entire infrastructure and data into a cloud or not, right? It took almost 5 to 10 years for, let's say, a lot of organizations, at least enterprises, to realize the value of cloud. And later everybody realized, okay, irrespective of whether it is owned by someone like a public cloud service provider, as long as security is embedded into the entire service, technology stack and service, it brings in value, right? The economy of scale, then the advantage of, okay, getting things managed by someone, even within the regulatory and security framework, right? For me, I can easily, connect to cloud technology while the adoption is huge now. But 5 to 8 years back when the cloud technology came, I remember that was a phase when almost all organizations were reluctant to move into. But over the time, people realized the value and then eventually switch to better technologies.
Great. So we'll just in a rapid word, in a like single word, what technology means to you?
Technology for me is anything that enable people to live better.
Yeah. That's it for today. Thank you, Navin, for joining us. Thank you. God bless. Yeah.